Hey, hello.
Hello. Good
Hello.
morning.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Ticker highlight show. Leisha, you look like you're ready to go to the beach.
I was already there. I was attacked by a bird.
What?
Yes. Does anybody know about this? The birds are attacking me here. It touched my shoulder today. Freaks me out. Scott told me to paste fake eyeballs around my hat, and that scares them. Today it hit my shoulder. No one believes me. They think I'm crazy, and today the damn thing hit my shoulder.
Maybe they just, they just think you taste good or something.
No, they're protecting their nest.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know. Is that time of the season? Are they seagulls?
No, I think they're like brown blue jays, if that makes sense. Does anybody know? Please let me know if I know I'm not crazy. Everyone thinks
North Point, Florida man wants video.
I have pictures I've taken because they literally land in front of me, like warning me. It's the craziest thing. I can't stop to take a video. I'm running.
I mean, the only thing I have had geese, brown blue jays. I know. Alfred Hitchcock movie, an actress who got an eye injury.
I know. It sounds crazy, but I got to look it up. Anyway, that's my morning.
So we have a little morning weakness here, but I guess Mark is out this week. Some personal stuff, but he'll be back next week. So I'm taking over the hosting with the mosting duties. So you know what? Maybe I should kind of do that. Anyway. So what do we got? We have some tickers today. We have weekend. Did you see a lot of weekend news? You know what, Hans, you were said something today I thought was kind of funny. The trade war has devolved into a what?
A slap fest. It was a shootout at the OK Corral, and now it's like a slap. Kind of like a Monty,
50%,
Monty Python-ish.
So anyway, I mean, I think when we've had these news and these spats, the market has been down more. Today we're down around 0.75%. Qs are down barely at all. And VIX is barely up from the weekend markup. So not a lot. I don't know. I feel like this dip's going to be bought, but that would be my personal take, because if they're not selling tech, how long is it going to last? The sell-off last. And I guess they're hitting the Dow more than, I don't know what name is down the most in the Dow today, but so we have some names. We've got the good and the bad. So I think everybody should highlight. I'll go last because I've talked enough already, except for Leisha and her bird story, which we're all actually looking forward to how that progresses. Besides that, though, Florida, you liking it down there? I know you like it.
I love it.
So
yes. Enjoy.
We've lost Leisha to Florida. She'll never come back to Chicago. Well, she'll visit maybe. And then Hans, of course, is stuck in Toronto in the frosty north, and where he will stay as well. And of course, I'm not leaving my rock and Maine, so here we are. Let's go to Leisha, if you want to start. I guess you got your hot and not. I guess the hot stock, the not stock. So if we've got Justin, if you could give us some screen sharing, I will stop sharing my screen here. Oh, he already got her. Good. Never mind.
So you have to remember, my write-up goes out on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
So by Monday, it changes quite a bit. My not stock was EQT Corporation. Okay. And that's because of this bearish engulfing up against resistance. It did pull back, but the support held. The support there, 55.05 held. It's bouncing today, so it is a no-go at the moment. I wouldn't do
This is
anything in
also
there.
one of like the natural gas stocks that have held up pretty well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
was looking for a little pullback down here to 50, 51, but didn't follow through. The support held.
interesting, the natural gas price is as low as it is as well, too.
So that was my not my stock I like. This came up on our scanner and option shopper. Ouster, and I believe it is bull flagging here. And I like it up to 14.5.
And that's OUST.
Yes.
Is that a drug stock? What's its gig?
You know what? I don't even remember now. Digital TIDAR sensors, 3D vision.
Oh, so those are probably for possibly like self-driving cars, maybe, or something.
Cars, and maybe they're flying things now that they're trying to get off the ground. Yeah.
Does self-flying planes make anybody else nervous, or is it just me? That makes-
Well, you know what
know
the
about
weird
that.
thing about in the air, like there's less randomness.
Yes, it's way
You got like
easier.
your sonar work, as long as your sonar's working or whatever
It's
your
way easier,
radar
right?
is.
Yeah. You don't have the angry bike riders.
You
know.
don't have traffic. Well, unless you're near an airport.
And you don't have the
you-
person texting on their phone and driving. I can't believe,
Exactly.
like, I have to say, like, teaching my kids to drive, and all of a sudden people are halfway in their lane. And then you see them like looking at their phone. I'm like, I can't believe people still do that.
I
Oh
know.
my gosh.
I know. It's horrible.
It's madness. I like this OUST because I feel this sector with anything related to sort of this techie drone stuff. Although I'm gonna have to go through a little Mark's analysis on his value analysis on the options, but I added it to my list. EQT is already on it. But it looks intriguing.
Yeah.
Options are not cheap though on that one, but they don't feel like crazy expensive either. Do you have any limits for OUST, or should we hit those in a minute?
No,
Do you have any?
I would say if we decide to say this is a bull flag and we're going to go along some calls, we could have a pretty close stop loss, 11.5, like 11.30 maybe.
Okay.
Not bad.
Are you in the bull flagging mode now with it?
Yes.
Okay, so at 12, we're trading what, 12.09?
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll have a tight stop on it. Okay. That means, Hans, we are calling to the northwest.
To the
Hans,
north.
Do you have a screen you want to
No,
share?
that's right, northeast. Just due north of me.
Yeah, I'm not far from you. You're more in the wilderness, but I have quite a bit of
That's
wilderness.
true. You are downright in a metropolis compared to me at this point.
Yeah. I am in quite a treed area, which is annoying in the fall because you get like 3 months of summer and then you have like 47 bags of leaves to fill. But that's okay. These are the problems of Trump wants to get his hands on all those trees, I think.
I think he does. I was looking at the 51st state.
Yeah, lots of resources. So this market's kind of realized vols kind of really falling off a cliff, right? That means actual movement. And
Hans, sorry to interrupt you. Do you have a screen you want to share?
Oh yeah,
sure. Yeah, I could share.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay. I don't normally share a screen, but I'm happy to share a screen. Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of gone from, you joked about it earlier. It's kind of gone from like, Gladiator or Braveheart to sort of a little Monty Python skit where I kind of, pass wind in your general direction. If anybody remembers that, that kind of funny scene, it's a bit like that now where nobody really believes anybody. But the taco, there's tacos on the menu now, so I'm a little worried because, President Trump might want to kind of reassert himself. So I think that's what's going to keep implied volatility up, right? It's going to keep option pricing up a little. I don't know if you agree, Andrew, but we kind of have, option prices a little high. I don't even know if we had much of a weekend effect because now people are worried about something happening over the weekend. And there's that headline risk. So that's kind of keeping people a little bit on edge. But at the same time, we seem to keep bouncing off of, kind of bad news lately. So my idea, my number one stock is Microsoft. So I kind of feel like we're maybe embarking on the next leg of AI in some ways. And I think it will involve a lot of disruption, even, very much within the tech industry. So I think because you kind of have to have your head on a swivel a little bit as companies get affected, even companies with very wide moats, and who have these fantastic businesses, these franchises that have been, like killing it for years, something like Google with their search, and now they're getting disrupted. So big things are happening out there. So I think you really have to sort of pick your spots a little bit. And we've seen some good performance from Microsoft lately. And I think that's because they are kind of well positioned in every facet of the business to take advantage of AI. Whereas Google has this innovator's dilemma, and they're kind of having to, focus on another area and focus less on an area that's, accounts for half their revenue and all their margins. Microsoft doesn't have that problem. They have Bing. They can ignore Bing. It doesn't make any money. So they can kind of, concentrate on infusing AI into all areas of their suite. And you can't leave Microsoft. You can't leave Office. It's very difficult. So you've got the cost to move to some other, maybe you can go to Google Sheets and Docs, things like that. But for the most part, I think they kind of have that very, very powerful franchise. So I like that about Microsoft. I think they're firing on all cylinders. And in a world where everyone's kind of going, well, how are we going to make money on AI? And how much is it going to cost us to figure out how to make money on AI? I think they're well positioned. And of course, the tie-in with ChatGPT makes them kind of interesting. So my least favorite stock right now, and I'm going to kind of caveat this with, because I'm showing you guys a little bit of skew here, which is basically showing, well, are puts expensive or out of the money calls expensive? So that's kind of one of those little under the hood things that we like to look at, us option kind of aficionados. And I think the Russell continues to maybe struggle. That's IWM is the ticker for the Russell 2000. I think it struggles a little bit more because rates are going to probably stay high for a little bit. That's very difficult for an index that has 40% companies that kind of don't make money, and they're all, they rely on financing, debt, things like that. So high rates, no bueno for a lot of companies out there. Having said that, I think that at some point we are going to see aggressive rate cuts. I think inflation is probably going to be overblown at some point, the worries about inflation. So I think, and this would be more like a pro thing, but I almost think like a ratio might look kind of interesting. You've got that steep downside skew. And that's something that you can really learn with Andrew, learning to use those little nuances in option pricing to really create that expression that you want to create in a particular stock. So I think I'm a little bit negative on it. I think it starts to look interesting, maybe under 200 again, Leisha. I don't know what you think on the chart there, but I think at some point we are going to see the whites of their eyes in terms of potential rate cuts. I think Powell can already cut. He won't, but I think he already can. But the economy is a little bit strong here. But at some point, we're going to see it. So those are my two picks. One with a little asterisk there.
All righty. I guess that leaves me. So I'm gonna at the end, I'm gonna go and ask. We're gonna do a little conviction test. If you're still, I know, because we do the writing, last week into the weekend. and then prices can move around a little bit. So I have a couple ideas. One thing I will note with Microsoft is the volatility is back to the teens. It's like 18. So you're getting some value there from a volatility point of view. Like the options are about as cheap as you're going to get them. I'm not going to say ever, but certainly this year. So we'll take a look at that. For my side, I liked Qualcomm as a long. I've added shares to that position for myself. And Dow as a short. We'll go over the Dow. I have this as a special situation. The stock is it's doing what I thought. It just didn't do it fast enough. So I bought like a puts and stock thing in special situations. It hasn't made a whole lot of money, although we did collect the last dividend, which I think they're going to pay. So right now with the market, so Dow basically is paying a dividend that is 10% the value of the company, 10% of the share price right now. So 70 cents a quarter, $202.80. That's a pretty big divvy. And they have not been able to turn a profit lately, I guess in the last year and a half. Margins are under pressure, whatever the reason was. So right now they're maintaining the dividend, I feel, kind of recklessly. Again, opinion, and the market did project lower dividends in the future. I did a video on that for special situations. But not many stocks are at basically their tariff panic lows. So I don't like this stock. I could see I still don't like it. And it could, again, from a performance point of view, I think the puts here are pretty cheap. So we'll go over that one as well. And number two would be, I like Qualcomm a lot. So if we look at I'm going to go 2-year chart. So Qualcomm top was 223. Currently it's bounced well off the bottom, but if you look at the rest of SMH, right? We're not at the highs, but we've recovered quite a bit, right? And so Qualcomm looks very, very good as a value buy if you're a value buyer. Also, if you look down here, and we're going to do a little review of option prices with all our ticker names, and then I'm going to blast everybody and see, do you still like it or you don't like it? So here's Qualcomm again. Volatility not as low as it can be, but given the market conditions, pretty inexpensive, I would say. We're in probably below the 50% line, probably the bottom. I'll say the bottom 35% tile for options. So anyway, I still like this as a long, and I still like Dow as a short. So conviction for me on both of those is pretty good. About as much as I can be on any kind of short-term, like 6-week and in trade. I think Dow is going to keep going down. They're going to have to cut the dividend, and the market is still pricing it that way. It's just when they do it is who knows. And this is Qualcomm, and then we'll look at volatility in Dow. Again, this volatility has perked up a little bit. Again, I like showing these relative charts. So this is 30-day and 60-day volatility. Again, it was super high here when everybody thought the tariff world was going to end. It has not really gotten back anywhere close to this previous level, which to me means there's still something afoot. But the 27 puts for July are a pretty cheap shot. Let me see. The 175, the 25 puts are 79 cents. Let's see if we can go in here a little bit less. They've perked up a little bit. I have to say they've perked up a little bit. the 27 puts for about $1.25 because I'm seeing like 25 and under for Dow. They just kind of, as a capitulation price. So that's kind of what I would see. I'm curious, Leisha, if you look at the chart of this, what you see as far as pitchforks, anything like that.
Let me show you.
And then we'll hit each person.
I think you're right about Dow. That's pretty ugly.
It doesn't look good, right?
Yeah.
If you're a fund and you're buying this for a 10% dividend and they even cut the dividend in half, the history is not, short term is not good for these type of companies.
Yeah, Andrew, I think you're right. I think it could. It's funny. I think 25 is right. 25.
Yeah, that's sort of where I was. I'd like to get a little double out of it or more.
It looks deceiving on this. This looks, when you just hold it right here on the next support level, it looks so much higher than this previous low, but it lines right up with it.
That MACD turning down, Andrew. Yes. And I want folks to notice one interesting thing is on the RSI, you can see that it keeps hitting its head on that 50% level. And what I find is that a lot of people sort of look at RSI as kind of overbought, oversold, those overbought, oversold levels. But I think it's often quite useful just for that 50% line, that sort of 50 line is where you often see, you can see right there, it just keeps bouncing off of that.
Yeah.
It's a good place to watch for when you're trading.
You're right, Hans.
All right. So we have Dow. Qualcomm, I could look at the option prices as well. I still like that as a long. So my conviction is pretty good on my 2 up, down. So Leisha, I'm going to hit your, what is it? Boost or Oost?
Oster?
Oster?
I don't know. Look at, so it's railings.
I'm just looking at this and somebody wants it, I'm not trying to make this super
that's
complicated.
What I'm thinking. We had nice volume on Friday.
Well, and another thing too, which doesn't look too bad. Again, we could have a tight stop on this, but the 13 calls are only in July are only like $1.45. A stock like this, those could be in the money in like, a heartbeat.
Now, I just realized I have this on an option shopper. Is that bad to be? I know we're not supposed to trade before we recommend, but was my best one.
Just let everybody know at least.
Okay, we have it on an option shopper from last week. But full disclosure, I already have calls in there. Sorry. I just realized it as you're talking about it. I'm like, oh shoot,
Right.
Full disclosure.
Well, it's okay, trades at work are gonna, they're gonna work,
My best conviction.
As long as you keep it on it, I think that's fine. And then EQT, you were kind of like you're a little bit on this.
That failed.
Okay, so we'll just EQT. We're going to push to the side.
Yeah.
All right. So Hans, Microsoft.
Yeah. What do you think, Andrew?
You like cheapy calls in here still?
Yeah. I felt for a while that the pain point is up in the market in general, and they kind of like this stock. It's had a good run, but they like it. And sometimes everyone focuses on the downside, and maybe it's still got some nice upside. What's the skew look like on that? But the vol's cheap. It's cheap.
Well, you're 17.5 for the 470 calls in July. And that's probably about as low as it's been all year. That would be my guess. Let's take a look. I'll bet you that is a 1-year low. Yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting shot. You got 46 days. Cheap upside.
We got 3 reasonable ideas. Maybe should we have a long and a short?
Yeah.
All right. So let's see what we got. Again, so from a value here, the July 03 straddle is $20. So I got no problem with the 70 calls in here for $6.40 or better. So we've got, so buy to open 1 Microsoft.
I like Microsoft.
July 03, right before the holiday. I guess we get the 4th of July off that week. Let me take a look at my calendar. That's got to be on a Friday. It is. So we got you. It's one day less we got, but nothing like a summer rally. 470 call. So these are our choices. This is what, 640. And then Leisha, we got Oster. I'll never say the name right. This is July. Ordinary is which one? Oster. July 13s for what, 145 top? All right. So we got to get the dang date right. July 1813. 145. And then again, from a conviction trade for me, I like either one, but I'm trying to figure out what really looks like the best deal. So for me here, I like the Dow puts, but they're just not super cheap anymore. They're a little bit more pricey. But the July 18, I think the 25 puts could double. The 27.5 puts are already 20 cents in the money. I would just go with a more in the money put at this point. So July 18, 27.5 puts for $1.65.
What do they do again, Leisha? Oster?
3D vision for.
Well, it has kind of the potential, I don't know, drones, self-driving, all that kind of, I'm just looking at all the drone news and following that stock, and that kind of tech is kind of hot.
Advanced 3D vision for machinery.
All right. So this is our long and short trade.
Metis
Qualcomm,
Trader.
again, I think Qualcomm and Microsoft are two like big tech leaders. I like the Microsoft on just the pure cheapness of the calls. This would probably be the number one pick I put out right now, mostly also because I think the market's going to rally here on this news. So Microsoft would lift. These would be, I would say, honorable mentions. So the Microsoft will be our pick. Do you have a stop here, Hans, for our Microsoft and maybe a little target?
Yeah. So on the Microsoft, I would say, a drop below 450 would maybe invalidate the trade. Maybe 447 would invalidate.
We'll use 450 as a nice round number. So 450 is your stop there. That's $10 at a 30 delta. So I would stop these around $3.50.
Okay.
But I think I'd like to get at least $10 or more for these. So that is your Microsoft one. This OIST is the price. This to me, though, for us as the actual choice, is the price performer because of the stock moving, relative vol on this one. This would be like what I want to put in the portfolio. And Leisha, what's your stop number on this?
Stop
like 11.13 or something, tight stop.
11.30. Yeah, how about 11 1/4 is good.
Okay, 11 1/4. So this would be this is the one going in our portfolio because I think this one is the one that will double the easiest. That's based on how the stock's moving. And if you want your short, this would be your short. Again, I would stop if the stock goes back over 28. I would stop this one. Okay, 28 stop on the upside. But our portfolio trade is this. Again, I'm going with the hot sector and the momentum on this one here. And easy to double option. So I'm going to put that in the portfolio right now. This is July 18, and this is going in the portfolio. I just had it up. Where is my portfolio page? There you go. And we're going to put this in now. Hopefully everybody can see this. So this is the one I want. You got a couple other honorable mentions here. We're going to put this one at the top. Paste. All right. And then these are these are honorable mentions. Okay, and this is our pick for the week. And so symbol here is OUST. Entry price here, I'm hoping 145. Our trade ID here is, I guess, 15. Trade 16 because we closed the Oklo last week. I would like a double on this, so we're going to go 290. And whoops, that's our target. And our alert here is this guy. And then in the comments, I'm just going to put, we're going to run a tight stop on this down to 1125. All righty. And that is now in the portfolio. Here's the trade. You got some honorable mentions. And that's it. That is our ticker highlight show for today. Also interested in, let me get to the right place here. If you're interested, I know I'm doing all kinds of things with my screen. Oh, whoopsie, here it calls. Calls. There we go. July 18. There we go. I think I got it. So the portfolio is there. These are honorable mentions here on for our two picks here. OUST is our number one pick. And let me see if I can just do this. And there you go. All the past results of the trade. Hannah put the portfolio on. It is time for us to go. And hey, everybody, have a good trading week. These are great picks, guys. Thank you, Alicia. Great job as usual. Just hope the birds stay away from you. Hans, enjoy your summer that's coming in Toronto. And I'll just go back to my rock in Maine. And that's Pearl barking. I got to let her in. You guys have a good day.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks.
Hey, everyone.